This week, we will start the hybrid portion of the course where the lectures will be online and we will then meet in class on Wednesdays to practice the skills portion of the class. Be sure to open Module 2, which, if you're reading this, you've already opened it, but go back to the module section and be sure to read the intro to Module 2 before you proceed in this course. So, the forming stage, if you have not started by now, and you guys are in the third semester, and if you notice, I talk about practicum quite a bit because it will be on you before you know it. So if you have not started now or yet, you need to start seeing yourself as a licensed or a professional, I'll say, and a facilitator, a group facilitator, which the individuals will actually look up to and look for feedback from. So, with that said, let's take a look at forming. Forming is the first stage or the initial stage of group. Uh, so, let's take a look at the steps of forming. The steps of forming, and we'll break each of these down individually, but they are the welcoming step, the overview of the group, the purpose of the group, building relationships, setting ground rules, and conclusions. These are your 6 steps of forming, and we will actually break each of these down individually. But before we move into welcoming, let's just take a brief look at and this is not for testing purposes, but just to get you guys pointed in the right direction. Imagine that you are getting ready to start this group. This is your very first time to facilitate the group to this group of individuals. So that means this is the members' first time to come and see you as well. So let's take a look at the questions that members often ask themselves when they first come in the group. They will not necessarily ask these out loud, but they will be asking these mentally as they sit there and observe what's going on. Will I be accepted or rejected by others? How will this group be different from my daily interactions? Who is that person? What are they here for? I don't think I really belong here after I look at these people that's walking in this door. What exactly will these sessions be like? What risks will I take? Some concerns and fears that they have. I'm afraid I'll look stupid. Will I tell too much about myself? Man, what would these guys think about me if I start sharing the type of person that I am? What if these guys attack me? What if they reject me? Will I embarrass myself? So those are some concerns and fears that members will have during this first session as well. And then just characteristics for you to be aware of. These are just very common characteristics that occur typically within the first group session. There's silence and awkwardness. So typically the first session, you will find yourself as a facilitator talking a little bit more than you would like. There's high anxiety. There's impatience or impatience. People are just ready to get the ball rolling. And so are you. So you have to be able to slow yourself down and control that impatience. Confusion about what everybody is supposed to be doing. And that's pretty normal for you as a facilitator and for the members to think that as well. So those are characteristics. There's going to be a lot of storytelling. That's very typical. And then there's a central issue that's taking place, underlying issue, and it's trust versus mistrust. Do I trust this facilitator? Do I trust these other members in this group? So those are characteristics, concerns and fears, and just typical questions that members will tend to ask in the first session of group. So let's move over to the welcoming stage. The welcoming stage, basically you want to create an environment that is comfortable, that's relaxed, and that's directive, and that's safe for your members to be able to talk. So that is the entire welcoming is you. It's you welcoming that group, providing a type of environment of this type of feeling. You should have this aura about you that, hey, it's okay to sit and talk in this group. So the welcoming stage is basically you introducing yourself to the group, welcoming the group, and giving them this subtle feeling that everything's going to be cool and okay. Here's an example. Hey guys, tonight's our first night for group. Appreciate everybody being here. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Tony. I'll be facilitating you guys in this group for the next 8 weeks. So what we'll talk about different issues. So I just want you guys just to relax. If you have any questions at any time, just you don't have to raise your hand. You can just ask the question, and we'll just kind of get the ball moving from here. So that's it. That's a simple welcome. You just lay the atmosphere, you make it comfortable, you make it relaxed, you give them directions because you're talking with confidence in your voice, and you just make it a safe environment. Welcoming is your first step of forming stage. The second step, overview of the group. In the overview of the group, basically you're stating the time, the location, the frequency that the group will meet. If it's a large group or the location, the building's kind of confusing, just be specific on where people should park, which doors they should enter. If there's stairwells or elevators, be sure to point those out as well. So your overview of the group is just simply repeating what most members already know, or just kind of clarifying more on what's going to take place. An example of the overview. Here we go. All right. So guys, as you see, the group will start at 5:30. We will meet here every week from 5:30 until 8:15. We will always be in this particular room. If you've noticed, this is a relatively big building. So as you turn into the parking lot, there's only one entrance into the parking lot. When you turn into the parking lot, make a right and go to the right side of the building. And on the right side over there, there's two doors that you can enter. Those doors will always be open. Be sure to enter those doors. And when you come in those doors, guys, you're right here. Look to the right. The room is right here. That's the easiest and best way to enter this building. So again, we will meet every week, 5:30 to 8 o'clock, and we will just park on the right side of the building and enter those doors. Purpose of the group. The purpose of the group is where you acknowledge members, you acknowledge the differences that the members have, you address why they're there or why they're here, and then what will take place. So this, if you fulfill or complete the purpose correctly, it will deal with a lot of issues that could arise later on in group. So purpose of the group is acknowledging differences, address why they're here, and then what will take place. So an example. All right, guys. So now we talked about how frequently we'll meet in this location. Let's move on to the purpose of this group. The purpose of this group, I want you guys to look around the group for a minute. And as you see, we're here. There's different people. We come from different backgrounds. We have different experiences, different lifestyles, and some of us from different cultures. So what that will do, guys, don't use that to where it will just make you really nervous. Let's use that as a benefit, because those different experiences that someone else may have could actually help you deal with and solve the situations or problems that you're dealing with in your life. We're here because this group is an addiction recovery group. We have various addictions, but nonetheless, our purpose is the same. We're here to deal with this issue. We're here to confront this issue. We're here to share with one another, and we're here to learn from one another. And hopefully this will help you grow and help us all grow in our experiences in life and being able to deal with this addiction that we're dealing with. So you see in that purpose, I acknowledge it, acknowledge the differences, I address why that we were here, and then we talked about what you're going to do. You're going to learn, you're going to share and grow with one another. So purpose of the group. Let's now move to step 4, building relationships. In building relationships, members will introduce themselves. You can have them share their reasons on why they're coming. This will help define their individual goals. Now, backtracking just a tad bit, when we talked about the purpose of the group, that's when you're sharing the goal for the group to help them come up with decisions, help them to come up with solutions to deal with this problem or issue. So when you hit the building relationship stage, have them introduce themselves and just something simple like, tell us why you're here. That will help a member identify and define their goals and put it in a concrete form to where they can um, state it before the group. Also, in the building relationship step, you can have an icebreaker. It's just a fun period. This may take 20 or 30 minutes. It could be something that's very simple as, okay, guys, what we're going to do now is go around the group, introduce yourselves, tell us the reason why you're here. And just saying I don't want to be here is not a reason. So give us some concrete reason, and then tell us if you had $1 million, what would you do with that money? So what that does is it takes them from a serious perspective of being able to introduce themselves and giving the reasons why they're there. But then when they finish talking, it leaves them at a relaxed state of um, talking about some hypothetical, which then relaxes them. Building relationships. Step 4. All right, our next step is setting ground rules. As we lectured about this earlier, these were called norms. The ground rules are rules that will govern the group. They are rules that will hopefully bind the members to either solidify and start supporting one another, or it will cause members to either leave the group. Remember, your whole purpose in group is to help that group bond, to develop cohesiveness. And the main reason for ground rules is to set a safe environment. It's to kind of get a grip on some of the chaos that could take place in group. Try to get a grip on that before it actually takes place. So, as you're setting ground rules, you should actually have an idea of which rules should already be there. I already have this list: confidentiality, respect, right to pass, no put downs, no interruptions. This list should always be in the back of your mind. But nonetheless, do not start your group and say, okay, these are the rules. Because then that's kind of, there's no buy in. That's just kind of telling them what they're going to do. So you allow the members to set the goals. All right. So, an example of this. All right, guys. So now that we know each other from building relationships, that was a really fun little time. Let's move into a little more serious period now. Let's take a look at ground rules. We also call these norms. But what the ground rules are is that it's not necessarily rules that we want to just hold you down and just say, hey, you're not following this rule. But it's kind of rules that, well, the purpose of these rules is basically to help the group facilitate and move a little bit smoother without as many or with minor interruptions as possible. So, as far as rules, what do you guys think should be one of the rules that we should have in our group? Well, what do you mean rules? Well, I'll give you guys an example. Basically, let's say confidentiality. Confidentiality is what we talk about in this group stays in this group. Yeah, I really like that one. Hey, me too. Oh, awesome, man. That's cool. Well, I don't know about confidentiality. Can you describe it a little bit more? Sure. Confidentiality is simply what we talk about in this group will stay in this group. Now, I want you guys to know that as a licensed professional, if you disclose to me that you're going to hurt yourself or someone else, if you're suicidal or homicidal, basically, um, then I have to report that. If some of you guys are on probation, if you go back to court and the judge subpoenas my records, I have to turn those in. I have to turn those in. But other than that, confidentiality also is if you sign a release of information. I know some of you guys are really concerned that your probation officer may want to know that you're participating or not. But if you sign this release of information, it allows me to talk to them. If you do not sign this release of information, then I do not talk to them. So those are just some things that will limit my confidentiality as a licensed professional. But for the most part, what we talk about in this group will stay in this group. Oh, yeah, that sounds cool. Okay, cool. All right. So then respect. What is respect? And then you kind of let the members define it from there. Or even before you just throw out respect, you can just ask the group, okay, so what other rules do you guys think we should have for this group? And of course, make sure that these 5 are already hit. at some point or another. No interrupting is a big one. So be sure that one's always included. Um, and then what I like to do for each one, like I just described and defined confidentiality a few seconds ago, what I like to do is say, okay, so if you agree to confidentiality as being one of our group rules, raise your hand. And then if they raise their hand, that's cool. If one person does not agree to confidentiality, it is then your job to call them out and say, okay, so Seth, you didn't raise your hand for confidentiality. Um, do you agree with that rule? And call them out on it and help them define or discuss their reasons on why they don't agree with one of these particular rules. If you do not receive an agreement on all of these rules, then you are setting yourself up for failure. You set the group up for failure. And then there's always an avenue that the members could fall back on later on and say, hey, I didn't agree to that. So you just go ahead and get that agreed at the onset of groups, and then you don't have to deal with that. So setting ground rules. You can always add these 5 and have 2 or 3 more. You can write those down on a board. You can write them on a piece of paper for the next week and have them stuck on the wall. But ground rules are extremely important. Have the group buy in, and that way they're more likely to follow them. All right. So our 6th step is conclusion. And basically, when you're concluding your group, the hour and a half will fly by the first session. You will find yourself have talked so much that you're almost going hoarse. Um, then you hit the conclusion stage. The conclusion, basically, all you're going to do is basically summarize the session. You're going to summarize everything that has taken place that night. So, an example. Here we go. Okay, guys. So, as we reach a time now that the group is getting ready to end within in 5 minutes. So let's just go ahead and recap what we talked about tonight. We talked about basically where we're going to be meeting in this particular group. We're going to meet in this room every week, 5:30 to 8 o'clock. Come to the right side of the building, enter those doors, and we should be good to go. You guys got to meet each other and had a little fun getting to know each other. So, and that was pretty cool. We then talked about the purpose of the group, the different experiences that we're bringing to the table, and how those will help us deal with this problem of addiction that we're dealing with. And hopefully, again, guys, hopefully we learn from one another. And that's going to take you guys sharing with one another. And then that'll help us grow stronger physically and mentally to be able to deal with these addictions. And then we also touched on these ground rules. As you see, we kind of wrote those down as we were going. They're written on the board over there. So let's be sure that we adhere to these ground rules of confidentiality, respect, right to pass, no right or wrong, no put downs, and no interruptions. So let's be sure we adhere to those so that we can have a good, safe environment. So basically, that's it for this week. I will see you guys next week at the same time. We'll meet in the same building. So bring your happy smiles together. But what I want you guys to think about between now and next week is I want you guys to think about what can you do differently this week than you did last week. All right, guys, we'll see you then. Take care. So as we conclude the steps of forming, I would like to read you guys some tips for you as a newbie leader. Tips for the forming stage. Be patient. Be prepared. Be knowledgeable. Although you're a facilitator, be a team, be a part of that team because you're helping them through this situation in the difficult time in their life. Be a counselor, be a facilitator. You will need to be a supervisor as well and oversee. That falls on the responsibility. Be a teacher, bring something new to the table. Develop a vision, help your members develop a vision, and then discuss. Be open to discussion on various topics. Don't be so rigid to where you don't want to get off topic. So be flexible as you enter this first stage of group.